Hey, what's up, guys? Thanks for checking out the bullet points. It is bitterly cold out here in Central Texas right now, middle of December. So we're going to grit and bear and take the cold so that we can get you guys some cool reviews. What we've got today is ATN's new X-Sight II. They make this in two models. This is the 3 to 14, and they've got the big brother here, which is the 5 to 20. Now, if you're not familiar with this scope, it is pretty bitchin'. It's not your typical glass scope. It's actually a screen, so it operates similar to like thermal, where you're actually watching an image projected rather than looking through glass. And the really neat thing about this is that it's night vision as well. So with this scope here, you can clip this on any rifle. You can plug in ballistic calculations. You put in your bullet weight. You put in the muzzle velocity, all sorts of things like that, and it will actually do the calculations and move the reticle where it needs to be for bullet drop, things of that nature. So pretty innovative, pretty cool, and very reasonably priced. I think these are coming in about $500, and the big brother's coming in around $600. You'll have to check my math on that, but I think that's about what they're retailing for. Very, very cool because, again, it's you have a multitude of magnifications, so you can zoom in with the screen, you can zoom out with the screen. One of my favorite parts about it is that it's Wi-Fi compatible with your phone. So you can actually get this thing to connect with your phone via Wi-Fi, and someone can be watching what you're seeing through the scope on a phone or tablet or laptop. There's a plug on the side for a micro USB as well, and mini SD cards or micro SD cards. So you can plug it in and record what you're actually seeing through the scope. Another neat feature about it is that it's got what's called recoil activated recording. So it's constantly recording through the time the scope's on, and when you fire a shot, it recognizes the recoil and keeps the recording from 4, 6, 8 seconds back before your shot to as long as you want forward of it, and you can change all those in the settings. So pretty neat if you're out on a trophy hunt, or you want to show your buddies a shot you made or something like that. You can record it all, and you've got proof of how good your shot was, so they're not relying on your fish stories. Pretty bitchin' setup here. It works, again, night vision is one of my favorite features about it. I'm just starting to get into night vision and hunting at night, and it is pretty awesome to be able to see something several hundred yards out that otherwise without a flashlight or any other ambient light you couldn't see. It does have a infrared light that clips on the side here. And from what I've played with so far, it actually casts a really, really good light. So you can see this thing for a couple hundred yards out. We've got a range behind us. We've got a target set out at about 100 yards. Another neat thing about it is it's got a rangefinder built in it. So you essentially put your reticle on the top. You put it on the rangefinder setting. You put your reticle on the top of the animal or the target or whatever, pin it, and then bring your reticle down to the bottom, pin it again, and it'll basically figure out the distance for you. So you can either do it by inches and say, I know my target is 20 inches, which the one out here is. We can pin the top, pin the bottom. It'll recognize that 20 inches is so far away, and it'll do the calculations for you. Or it's got pre-programmed settings to where you can look at like your average whitetail. Pin the top, pin the bottom, and it'll figure out the range for you. Hog is another setting, coyote is another setting. And then you can build custom ones as well. Another cool thing about it, and this is especially true for when you're firing at distance, is you can actually program a variety of bullets in here. So if you have this on, your 16-inch AR 223, and you're running, 55 grain, hollow points or whatever, or soft tips, and you want to set that as a setting in here, you can save it, and then you can pull this off, put it on your AR-10, put it on your bolt rifle, whatever else, and then program in a different set of ballistic calculations, muzzle velocity, your weight of your bullet, things like that, and it'll also make those calculations and save them for you. So you just have to go to your most recent profile or whichever profile you're going to be using, and it'll do everything for you. So I'm really thrilled with that because I hate math, and the dope charts of old are kind of getting antiquated. I know that nothing is as accurate as going that route, but they've made leaps and bounds technology advancements with the ballistic calculations. So very, very excited to plug this thing in and get it firing with our AR here. It runs on 4 AA batteries. So great, you can go to Costco and buy a whole pack of those. It does go through battery life pretty quickly. but you know, AA's are cheap and you can buy them in bulk, so it's not that big of a deal. Just carry extras with you. And then the IR light on the side takes CR123s, 2 of them. And I've tried fitting 18650 in there, but unfortunately there's like a little sleeve in there. I don't know if it comes out or not. I'm going to try and play with that a little bit later and see if I can pull that sleeve out and be able to fit an 18650 as opposed to 2 123s. You've got all your you know, buttons here on the top, pretty easy to access. You know, if you're on the scope, you can just reach up with your offhand and kind of feel around. You can zoom in from there. You can take a picture from there. You can change settings from there. You know, basically make any changes you want to while you're down on the rifle. So you don't have to pull your head up and, you know, make any changes. Also, if you've got your phone plugged into it, you can have the rifle just set down and you can make any of those changes from your phone. So rather than having to bench rest the gun and have your cheek on the, you know, cheek riser or whatever and try and figure it out while you're looking through this tiny little hole here, you can do it straight from your smartphone, tablet, or laptop. So pretty awesome setup. The host gun that we've got today is one that we built here at the Bullet Points. It's a Spikes Tactical lower, Spikes Tactical upper. This is their BAR 13. We've got some Magpul flip ups. We've got the BCM Voltor Mod 44 charging handle. A couple of little goodies on here, you know, your Magpul, you know, angle forward grip, and then Landtac Dragon, which is one of my favorite brakes. We're actually going to be pulling that off a little bit later and running it suppressed and see if we have much of a difference with bullet drop or calculations or anything. But solid gun here. I've had a lot of fun with this one, and you know, Spikes makes a really, really good rifle. They make really good parts as well. So I haven't had any issues with this. I don't anticipate that we're going to have any tonight, which is why I used it as kind of one of the more consistent host guns. Also, you can get all the stuff that's this thing's dressed out with at gearyouneed.com. So cruise over and check out the store if we can help you with any of your AR needs. So we're going to go ahead and bolt this thing on. We're going to use the little one today just because it's lighter and my hands are freaking freezing. I'm going to put the small one on. It's a little bit lighter. It's going to complement the gun a little bit better. And we'll go ahead and pick back up when we get some shots downrange. So we are set up here on a bench with the target that's paced off at 100 yards. So I'm going to go ahead and use the rangefinder feature on this, where again, we plug in the manual setting of, that's a 20-inch target, so we put 1.6 feet, kind of round in a little bit. But 1.6 feet, I'm going to pin the top, I'm going to pin the bottom, and then tell you what it comes back with as far as a range. So we hit the main menu and then scroll over a little bit. Then we pin the top of the target. And now the bottom of the target. .242 yards. So not terribly off. Again, I didn't use a laser rangefinder or anything. I just paced it off, so it could be fairly close. Let's go ahead and run some rounds downrange. There's what's called a one-shot zero with this. So you place one round on the target, and then you put the reticle where you originally fired, and then it brings up another reticle that you can move using the arrow keys to where your shot placement was. You go ahead and hit save, and then it'll save all the calculations there. So kind of cool. It's like a true one-shot zero. We'll see how it works. So let me go ahead and plug in the ballistic calculations of this. We're running 2,400 feet per second muzzle velocity out of a 55 grain 223. So I'm going to go ahead and plug that into the setting, and then we'll go from there. Okay, we just went ahead and plugged in the ballistic coefficient, the bullet weight, and the muzzle velocity into a profile. So we've got a profile created for this particular round and this particular gun. It's got us ranged out to 247 yards. Let's go ahead and see if we're going to go ahead and take a shot and see if it's on steel, and then we can dial it in from there. And thanks to Silencer Shop, we don't have to wear ears today because we've got the Griffin Alpha on the end here. Missed completely. I'm going to take a shot in the dirt in back of it and see if we can kind of dial it in closer. definitely hit dirt. There we go. All right. So I aim to the right of the target and we hit it low center. So now I get to go to the settings, to the 0, select current, and then we go to 0 reticle. And now I put the red reticle on the shot and the white reticle where I was aiming. So we just use the up and down arrows to kind of get us there. X out to the main screen, and then I noticed the reticle moved on the screen. So let's take another shot and see if we're on target. Oh man, exactly where I was aiming. Actually, let's see if we can pull this up here. All right, and now let's take one more shot, and I'm gonna make this one a headshot, see if I can go square in the center. Would you look at that? Exactly where I was aiming. This one-shot 0 is really impressive. I mean, you can zoom in and make like minute changes to it, but with what, 1, 2, 3 rounds, not counting the one in the dirt, with 3 rounds, I was able to get on target at 100 yards. And I'm betting you that I could shoot a, probably a 2 or 3 inch group off of how it's set right now. I think that you could do even better if you had some match grade ammo and you're really taking your time, put on like a lead sled or something like that. But this thing is badass, man. So to play around with a little bit more, let's go with lights out. So this is looking at the phone, and from here you can change the reticle styles. You can change the color of the reticle. You can go back to profiles, scroll through, system menu. We're going to go ahead and turn on night mode. My fingers are too cold to work. Ugh. No, not that. So now we're on night vision, and hopefully you guys can see down range there. I know you're looking at it through a phone, so it's going to be a little bit different, but through the reticle here, it's very crisp. I can make out the shape of the target. I can see the difference in color between the target and the wood stand. I can see the rocks in the background, which are probably closer to 130 yards. This is really crisp. I'm actually really impressed with how this thing's working. Let's go ahead and take a night vision shot and see if we're still on target here. Big ol' spark off of that. That is awesome, man. Cool. Well, this is a pretty sweet setup. Man, it is beyond frigid out here. And just dark as hell. I mean, we can barely see anything. But this thing performed really, really well. I'm surprised at how much ambient light it picked up, even though there's not a whole lot out here. And then with the infrared light that comes with it, that really helped as well. Another thing I forgot to mention earlier, this is a sunshade for the front part of the scope. So, if you want to take that off and have a little bit smaller profile on it, you can. But just an awesome setup made by ATN. So check one out when you get a second. They are a lot of fun to shoot. There's like countless things you can go through on them. I kind of hit all the highlights that I thought were pretty neat. You can change the night vision from like black and white to like green and black. You can change the reticle color and style and all that stuff. One thing, make sure you turn your Wi-Fi off on the device, as well as your satellite and everything else, because it will suck the batteries out of it. I mean, it went through batteries pretty dang quick. So make sure you turn those off if you're not using them. If you are using them, you know, great. That's awesome that you can have your phone tied into it, which is why we couldn't show you a whole lot of phone footage, just because we were going through batteries too quick. But very, very cool setup. Again, the ATN X-Sight II HD. You know, pretty cool scope. I can't say enough good things about it for how reasonably priced it is. Thank you again to the guys at Gear You Need who were able to hook us up with a lot of the features on this rifle here. And thanks to Silencer Shop who loaned us the Griffin Alpha here. Really nice suppressor, actually. I shot this on a 308 and a 300 blackout, and now this 223, and it's incredibly quiet with supersonic ammo. I've run subs through it with a 300 blackout, and it was very quiet. I mean, literally like a clap. And it's a very, very light suppressor. I think it's actually the lightest full auto rated 30 cal suppressor on the market for as quiet as it is. So make sure you cruise over to Silencer Shop and check out what they've got. I know it's getting a whole lot easier to own suppressors nowadays, and we're all keeping our fingers crossed for the Hearing Protection Act to go through and, you know, get the ATF out of our business. But for now, Silencer Shop's a great way to go, so check them out. Griffin Alpha is a great setup. So thanks again, guys, for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe. We got a bunch more videos coming, some really cool, new, innovative products out. And if there's anything you guys want us to review, something you got a question on, just shoot us an email or comment down below and let us know what you guys want to see next. Thanks again, guys, and see you next time on Bullet Points.